So UBK2 is out and I wanted to check it out live on camera. I want to drag this onto, let's say, the master track first, maybe, or no, maybe we'll do that last. Try it on the lows. So this is gonna be the kick and the bass. This, of course, electronic music. So I'm gonna solo these and let's hear what they sound like with the Kush on and off. Of course, has some additions. So additionally has three more compression algorithms, has the saturation on the input and the output, and has an EQ on the input. So that's great. Yeah, and you can additionally move the attack and the release of those preset attack and release settings that we have here. So let's try it out. First off, on the kick and the bass, let me try it off only as no compression, but just that saturation to see what that sounds like. So that's the input. That's different. Okay, so I'm wondering if these two compressions are the same or different. Let me fire up Plugin Doctor and see what that's all about. So mainly what I wanted to see, this is the Kush on our master track. Okay, so let's see the harmonic analysis right here. Even with the saturation all the way down, does add some. Yeah, it does. Let me take out the compressor. Okay, so this is only the input. Oh yeah, goes through some changes, some aliasing too, and oversampling is on. Let's see, when I get that oversampling off, okay, this reduces it. Okay, nice. So this is what the saturation on the input looks like, and let's see the output one. So we can compare. Yeah, it's different. It's definitely different. Look at that. And look at this. Yeah, that's definitely different. Yep. Okay, so we know that these are two different saturations on the input and the output. Is there something we can learn about the dynamics right here? We'll engage the compressor, see what that's going to look like. Okay, so depending on what kind of compression we are using, which one of these modes is going to be a different kind of a knee, a different shape altogether. Yeah. Okay, that's nice. So basically what I wanted to see all in all was that saturation. Ooh, it's crazy shapes. Okay, so I wanted to see that saturation and what that looks like. I just wanted to compare the input and the output one. So let's see. Definitely nice. That already hits a lot harder. Let's try out this EQ as well. If I pull down on this a bit. That's really nice. Down a bit. Saturation. So this is the complete dry and wet when it's like this, when it's clean. So completely dry, completely clean, and then wet, complete with everything. So if we had the compression engaged as well, we could switch to dirty, meaning only the saturation, so the in and out saturation, and then we add the compression. Okay, so we are blending in between only the saturation or saturation with the compression, and when we go to the clean mode, it's dry and wet. So dry nothing and wet everything basically. But I like this option. This is a really nice option. So this saturation already applied the way it is, and then we're just adding in the compression where, adding the compression as parallel only, and saturation stays, serial. So if I was to do this with a compressor and then just blend that in a tiny bit. Let me see if I bypass that. It does a really click, a really nasty click when you do that. Let me see how this reacts. Yeah, this is much better. One on Ableton. Well, we're definitely not listening only to the saturation and only the compression. I already did the EQ a tiny bit, so let's bypass that EQ. Okay, I like the way it sounds by itself, but that doesn't mean anything. Honestly, it needs to sound good within the concept of the track. So let's see how these changes actually enhance or do not enhance that kick and bass within the concept of the whole mix. I can definitely hear much more kick drum, the lows of the kick drum when this is not present. Maybe if I engage that EQ as well. It's nice. I like it. I know that I could have done this with some other saturation, some other EQ, some other compressor, but yeah, I like the way this sounds. So this has a lot of things in one. I like the way how crazy these compressions in UBK were, how really extreme you could go and just like blend in a tiny of that super extreme compression into the normal signal and get a kind of a vibe. And it always had that coloring included, that saturation that you could engage. That's one of the things I liked with the UBK plugins is, okay, sometimes you like the device for the kind of color it gives you, and that's analog to, analog hardware. So you would buy a device and it has a certain, signature color because, yeah, it's analog. So you buy it because of it and you like it because of it. That's the same way you like the Kush stuff because, that's how he makes them. He makes them to have a vibe, to have a certain, signature with it. If you don't like it, don't use it. It does look overly analog, but I do like this tri view right here. So you can see only the gain reduction, only the input and output, or the tri. So you can see the gain reduction and the input and output at the same time. Some headroom. Oh, nice. So I can adjust the headroom, yeah, independently. I don't have to push so much with the smash with this compressor. Definitely makes it more clicky. Okay, let's see that same compressor. I'm just gonna drag it off to the master track just to see what that sounds like and try some of these compression models. Let's do it without the saturation first. So I'm gonna go crazy with the compression, go a bit extreme without the EQ. This is on the master track now. So let's try this and let's do the wet all the way. I just want to see what they sound like. What do they do? What kind of a shape of that compression? What is the vibe it's giving? So the snap, knock, nice. Crush. It does mention on the website that they are even amongst them, so that when you're changing from one model to the other, the gain reduction basically stays the same and that the volume stays the same. So you can just listen to the actual vibe it's giving you, which I think is great. It's not really, compensated that well. You have to compensate with the makeup gain. But okay, for this amount of compression, like you really can't. How do you properly compensate, a compressor? Aside of just constantly monitoring the output input, ratio and just adjusting for it, which would actually, be stupid. It would maybe even deny the fact of your, compression existing. For some extreme settings like this that I really like with this, at least with the previous version, you have to do the makeup yourself. That would be nice. Wait. Tiny bit of that. Even less. Actually, I like what it does. So it's kind of taming that low end of that kick drum. And although you could do that on the channel itself, I know, but it is kind of taming it, and I really do like it. So honestly, I like how each one of these sound is just a different vibe, but I like the way each one of those sounded, even on the master track. So let's see the splat. Not sure how good this is going to be on the master. Well, let's keep it at 1. Yeah, I like this one too. It does definitely, some of this paralleled in definitely makes it sound better than the track itself on its own. So I do like it. Nice. Really squishes it. Honestly, I really do like each one of these, how they sound on the master track of at least this piece of music. And this is provided by 11. Yeah, let's see the scream. Let's see the last one. Okay, so this is nice. This cream one is even, yeah, as it says cream, it's, for the master track, it's really nice and transparent. This is a demo, by the way, a fully functioning 10-day demo that, Kush provides for all the plugins. Recently, since the last time I saw the website, I saw that there is a subscription also, a subscription model involved for like all the plugins. I think it's like $9.99. Which it does have a lot of plugins, so compared maybe to some other companies that have more and maybe have like a more versatile, collection of plugins, I don't know, it depends what you find valuable. Maybe you don't need to have a brick wall limiter, maybe you don't need some of the tools that some, other companies give you, and maybe they give you more tools, but not with such, mojo and feeling. So yeah. By the way, I just grabbed these off of KVR and reviewed them. Nobody's paid me or contacted me or, to talk about it. Nothing. So I really do like the UBK one. What I can't understand is like how it like just started slipping out of my workflow. It is quite colorful, the UBK. It is quite colorful. And that saturation was like the part of, the thing that you actually want, why you want to use it. I think I started focusing on something else and it slowly just like slipped away. I really do like this. I have to test this out, obviously, like on more things, but more than this, not really. So you either like it or not. And I like all the modes on the master. I'm sure that I can find a use for each one of these on separate tracks, like the kick and the bass, maybe on the drums. And let me see on the synths. Well, definitely you can use it on everything. I just wanted to see what this does to the synths, this saturation. How does it bring up all the reverbs and stuff, you know. We go even harder on this compression. Yeah, it really splats it out. What about cream? Let's try less of it. Then blend it in. Blend in all of this. Maybe just blend only the compression, yeah, and leave the saturation always there. Okay, so this really does bring out. Okay, it does really bring out the reverbs and everything. I actually do like this. Ooh, really nice. It does make it a tiny bit louder, I think. Tiny bit louder, but definitely sounds really nice. Okay, so the ruling is it's really good. So as well as the first one was, this is just an amazing upgrade. Yeah, I think I'll have to spend the next 9 days using this, have it in so many projects that I can't roll back anymore because it's such a, you know, unique signature. Then I have to pay for it. It's somehow gonna justify the money, you know, in my mind. So use it and now I have to buy it, you know. I opted for the big GUI because I knew I was gonna make a video using it. It does have a, you know, mini GUI that I don't know what it looks like. I'm gonna try to reinstall it, you know, and see what that looks like. Let me try that out right now and get back to the video just to see what the smaller version of it looks like. Okay, so we are back with a small GUI and this is perfect. I mean, his interfaces look really nice, you know, always have that analog kind of feel. I guess people want that. I'm not the biggest fan, although this one looks really nice. I'm not the biggest fan of using the real estate of the screen like this. But honestly, as long as my attention is not like divided and everything's like in a nice spot and I can get to it, just click it. Obviously, this is a compressor, doesn't have any sub menus, which I really don't like in plugins, like sub menus in different places where I have to go and find it and see where it is. And like, I understand some of the plugins need to have it because they have too many things to place on, you know, on one screen. And maybe you wouldn't want them on one screen because they would like divert your attention from the main things. I like the way it's laid out. As I said, I like things that are made for the screen and not for, you know, analog domain. But yeah, it looks nice. That trimeter is also really useful. I like the saturation. I like the way it sounds on this song. So I have to, maybe I'll make a series of trying to master songs by using just one company's plugins, you know, and then try whatever we can do with, you know, with Kush, trying to see if this can actually work as a limiter of some sort. Of any other plugin from Kush can work as a limiter. Maybe I have to do that soon, unless I want to buy this one. As I said, I think this is going to turn out ugly, that I'll just put this in projects, then I'll have to pay for it. If you want to learn more about music production, definitely go to mixingacademy.com. The course is 80 plus hours long, and thanks to 11.org, it's completely free. So check it out on the link provided below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.